Far beyond the Crimson Mountains, where rivers of lava flowed like glowing rivers beneath the stars, stood the fiery kingdom of Emberfall. It was a land unlike any other. Volcanoes illuminated the night sky with golden light. Fields of flame flowers bloomed across black stone valleys. Firebirds soared through the clouds, leaving trails of sparks behind them. And protecting this magnificent kingdom was Pyra, the fire fairy. Pyra's wings glowed like molten gold. Her hair flowed like dancing flames. Wherever she flew, warmth followed. She was brave, energetic, and fearless. Unlike many fairies who preferred peaceful forests or quiet lakes, Pyra loved adventure. She raced through volcanic canyons. She danced among fire geysers. She climbed mountains simply to watch the sunrise. The people of Emberfall adored her. Whenever winter reached nearby kingdoms, Pyra sent warm winds across the land. Whenever travelers became lost in the mountains, her glowing flames guided them home. At the very heart of Emberfall stood the eternal volcano. Inside it burned the eternal flame. The eternal flame was not ordinary fire. It was an ancient magical force created at the beginning of time. Its warmth helped balance the seasons. Its energy powered the volcanoes. Its light kept darkness from spreading across the world. As long as the eternal flame burned, warmth and life would remain in balance. But one terrible night, the sky suddenly turned dark. The volcano stopped glowing, and then, whoosh, the eternal flame vanished. Instantly, cold winds swept across Emberfall. The lava rivers hardened into black stone. Flame flowers wilted. Snow began falling across the volcanic kingdom for the first time in history. The people stared in disbelief. Fear spread quickly. Without the eternal flame, the entire world would slowly freeze. The fire spirits gathered inside the great volcano temple. Their glowing forms flickered weakly. Then the oldest spirit spoke. "The Shadow Phoenix has returned." The temple became silent. Long ago, before Emberfall existed, a giant phoenix named Ignaroth protected the eternal flame. His wings carried the first fire ever created. His duty was to guard the balance between destruction and creation. For centuries he served faithfully, but over time he became consumed by pride. He believed the flame belonged to him alone. Darkness slowly corrupted his heart. Eventually he disappeared into the inferno caverns beneath the world. No one had seen him for 1,000 years. Until now, Pyra looked at the frightened fire spirits. Outside, snow continued falling across the kingdom. The cold grew stronger every hour. "If Ignaroth has taken the eternal flame," Pyra said firmly, "then I will bring it back." The next morning, she began her journey. She traveled deep into the Crimson Mountains. The deeper she went, the stranger the land became. Volcanoes stood silent. Ash covered the valleys. Even the firebirds had disappeared. Soon, she reached the scorched desert. Once it had been filled with warmth and life. Now it was covered in ice. Frozen dunes stretched endlessly toward the horizon. Pyra had never seen such cold before. She used her own magic to keep moving. For days, she crossed the frozen wasteland. Then, one evening, a giant magma beast burst from beneath the ground. Its body was made of black stone and glowing lava cracks. Its eyes burned red with rage. The creature charged directly toward Pyra. She leaped into the air and unleashed streams of fire. But the beast seemed unaffected. Again and again it attacked. Then Pyra noticed dark crystal chains wrapped around its body. The creature was being controlled. Instead of attacking harder, Pyra changed her approach. She focused her fire into a warm golden light. The chains slowly melted away. The magma beast stopped instantly. Its eyes softened. The creature bowed respectfully before disappearing into the mountains. Pyra continued onward. Days later, she reached the Inferno caverns. The entrance stretched deep beneath the earth. Ancient fire symbols glowed across the walls. The air trembled with forgotten magic. As she descended, the caverns became increasingly dangerous. Lava waterfalls crashed from giant cliffs. Fire serpents slithered through molten rivers. Explosions echoed through the darkness. Yet Pyra continued forward. She crossed bridges of obsidian. She climbed crystal pillars glowing with ancient fire. She followed the faint energy of the stolen eternal flame. Eventually, she reached the Chamber of Ashes. It was enormous. Mountains of black ash filled the cavern. At its center stood a giant throne carved from volcanic stone, and sitting upon it was Ignoroth, the Shadow Phoenix. He was magnificent and terrifying. His wings stretched across the entire cavern. Black fire flowed from his feathers. His golden eyes burned with anger and sorrow. Behind him floated the stolen eternal flame, but it no longer glowed brightly. It flickered weakly beneath layers of darkness. Ignoroth slowly opened his wings. "So," he said, "the fire fairy has come." Pyra stood bravely before him. "Return the eternal flame." The phoenix laughed bitterly. "Why? The world only fears fire. They blame it for destruction. They forget the warmth it provides." Dark flames swirled around him. They do not deserve its gift. Suddenly, boo! Ignoroth unleashed a storm of black fire. The cavern shook violently. Rivers of lava exploded from the ground. Pyra barely escaped. The battle had begun. For hours they fought. Pyra created giant fire dragons. Ignoroth summoned storms of shadow flames. Lava erupted around them. Volcanic lightning filled the sky. The clash illuminated the entire underground world. Yet no matter how hard Pyra fought, she could not defeat him. The Shadow Phoenix seemed unstoppable. Eventually, Pyra collapsed to one knee. Her energy was fading. The darkness surrounding Ignoroth only grew stronger. Then she noticed something. The eternal flame behind him was weakening. Not because it had been stolen, but because Ignoroth himself was suffering. The darkness was consuming him from within. Pyra remembered the stories. Ignoroth had once been a guardian, a protector, not a monster. Slowly, she stood up. She extinguished her battle flames. Ignoroth looked confused. "Why have you stopped fighting?" Pyra smiled gently. "Because you're not my enemy." The phoenix froze. For a moment, the cavern became silent. "You protected this flame for centuries," Pyra continued. "You loved it more than anyone. You're hurting because you think the world forgot." The black fire around Ignoroth flickered. Pyra spread her wings. Instead of summoning destructive flames, she created warm golden fire. Memories filled the cavern. Families gathering around fireplaces, travelers surviving cold nights, children laughing beside campfires, villages celebrating festivals beneath lantern light. The true purpose of fire, not destruction, warmth, hope, life. Tears filled Ignoroth's eyes. The darkness covering his feathers began cracking apart. The black flames disappeared. Golden fire returned. For the first time in centuries, the great phoenix remembered who he truly was. Then, boo! The eternal flame erupted with brilliant golden light. A wave of warmth spread across the world. The frozen rivers of Emberfall melted. The volcanoes awakened. Flame flowers bloomed once more. The snow disappeared. Across distant kingdoms, warmth returned. The balance of the world was restored. Ignaroth spread his magnificent golden wings, no longer a shadow phoenix. Once again, he was the guardian of the eternal flame. When Pyra returned to Emberfall, the entire kingdom celebrated. Fire lanterns filled the sky. Volcanoes glowed brighter than ever. The people cheered as golden sparks danced above the mountains. From that day forward, Pyra became known across every kingdom as Keeper of the Eternal Fire. And even today, whenever you feel the warmth of a campfire on a cold night, people say Pyra is still flying across the skies, carrying the light of the eternal flame and protecting the heart of fire forever.